Hey guys, this is Cannon from Arguably Georgia Sports. Before we get into the video, I just want to apologize that we're not going to have any video on it today. Our camera wasn't working properly. We didn't realize it until we had finished. And we had some really good content in it, so please stay anyway. Enjoy.
What is up, YouTube? This is Kyan Cannon from Arguably Georgia Sports, and today we are going to be ranking, or we're going to be discussing how the coaches poll got it wrong, like you say in the title. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to be giving you our top 10 going into the season, and then a wild card team that we think could do a lot this season,
All right.
but isn't highly ranked.
So we're going to start out with our number one. I think it probably is the same for both of us. Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because FPI, I'm pretty sure, has Clemson as number one.
Mm-hmm.
But FPI is horrible all the time. You can get
Alabama
100% chance to win in the middle
Alabama
of the game.
won the national championship, and they had a great recruiting class. That's all I need
Definitely.
to know.
I mean,
Alabama's
and
number one.
Nick Saban. If Nick Saban is coach,
And they have Nick Saban.
I will put them as number one.
Mm-hmm.
You put them at FIU. You put them at San Diego State. I don't care. They're going to win. All right? Now, my number two. Then okay, let's start actually. We're going to do it this way. We're going to show you the number two, or whatever we're on, of the coaches poll.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to show you ours. And then you're going to see, as you see in the title, that the coaches poll got it wrong
corrupt.
and is corrupt.
All right,
My number two is Georgia.
Clemson.
Why
So
is your
I'm
number
right
two
on-
Clemson?
Because they got Kelly Bryant coming back. They got Dabo Swinney, who I think is the second best coach in the country. I mean, him and Urban Meyer.
Okay,
might
for
be
one
close.
thing, I had a major problem with last season. How they basically just got a free pass for losing to Syracuse just because their quarterback was hurt in the game. He was still playing.
All right, that's
but he was
not
hurt.
true.
Okay, well, number one, if you can't beat Syracuse just because your
they
quarterback
lost
is
one
hurt,
game. Okay, they lost one game, and it was an upset. It was obviously a fluke. Okay. You can't go 11-1, win your conference championship by 5 touchdowns, and say that Syracuse is better than them.
I mean,
You can't do that.
they were playing
It was
Miami.
a fluke. Yeah, they destroyed Miami. They did what they were supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, but I just can't. I just can't. And then
Miami
they get
was
blown
good.
out by Alabama.
It wasn't blown out. It was
Like 26-4? Like 6? 26-6?
24-6.
I don't know what the
was a
score was.
defensive
You tell
struggle,
us
you know,
in the
yeah.
comments below.
And Alabama was really good. That's why Alabama is ranked ahead of them.
Yeah, okay. Well, my number two is Georgia because, for one thing, strongest recruiting class in the country. And you'd think some of those
They
freshmen...
have that like every single season.
Actually,
it's
no,
true.
this is the first time they've done that in a while.
Really? It
Yeah.
seems like every
First
year
time they've
it's
done that in a
Georgia's
while.
just an incredible.
They normally are pretty good, but this time, okay, they landed number one recruit, Justin Fields. So if their quarterback situation...
He's a senior.
Probably not. But if their quarterback situation doesn't work out, they have somebody to fall back on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a little tough in the game, an extra little boost, got a bunch of new running backs, bunch on defense, and you'd think some of those freshmen would be able to play, right? They're not all going to play like freshmen. Next for the coaches poll is Ohio State, and I'll probably put these up on the screen so you can see it. You don't get all confused. Next for the poll is Ohio State.
Which, I mean, it makes sense.
It made
Before
sense,
the Urban Meyer
yeah.
incident.
And now for me, after that, because he's definitely going to be fired.
I don't think he's going to be fired. I think he's going to stay there.
He dropped all the way down to 9.
But I think it will hurt their team. I mean, I'm like morally and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he will come back, and
Well-
even if he doesn't come back, I still think they're going to be good.
I mean, they're still going to be good, but they're not going to be
number 3.
contending for the playoffs, probably.
I think they
Not
they'll be in the
without their coach.
mix. They're in a crappy conference. I know. I take that back. They're in a good conference.
They're in probably the best division in the country.
That's true. Big Ten.
Yeah.
Whatever.
My number 3 might surprise you. Penn State.
What? Well, that's Saquon Barkley. That was their bread and butter.
Well, yeah.
Trace
okay.
McSorley's
So
good,
I think
he's
that was a
not
problem
incredible.
for them last year, actually.
You think it was a problem?
I think Saquon Barkley was a problem for them last year because towards the end of the season,
How was he a problem?
just listen. Towards the end of the season, they were relying too heavily on him. They were just put everything they had with him, and they just kind of said, "Here, you win us games."
Not really. They had Trace
And
McSorley.
they had him,
It's
but they
because
didn't
they didn't
use
have
him as
much
much as they
else.
could have.
They didn't have much else.
And they actually had it.
All right, so now he's gone. Now what?
Now they're not
everything
going
on
to
Trace
be.
McSorley.
Well, he's a quarterback.
Where are you
That's what
going with
quarterbacks are supposed to do.
All right, but he's not amazing. He's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
I mean,
he's
he's
not.
probably the.
He's not like a top 5 quarterback in the country.
I would say he probably is.
No, he's not. Anyway, I have Georgia at number 3 because they made it to the national championship last year and they had a good recruiting class. That's all I need to say.
Yep. You don't want to talk about Georgia being okay.
What do you mean?
Okay. Continue. Mine. Okay. The number 4 of the corrupt coaches poll is Georgia after Ohio State, but that is a little bit old because Ohio State obviously doesn't have Urban Meyer and they would not be. Well, they probably won't have Urban Meyer, so they wouldn't be in front of Georgia realistically. So their number 4 is Georgia. My number 4 is Oklahoma. Now this is interesting because they lost Baker Mayfield, but they do have another. They had. What was he? I think he was like a number 2 quarterback after Tua.
Kyler Murray.
Murray. Yes, that's it. Kyler Murray. And I think that he'll actually do pretty good. He had a lot of time to train. He was basically, was he a redshirt? I know he got a little bit of playing time, but I'm not sure if he was under 3 games.
I think isn't that a
so he might have redshirted. Yeah. I know he got a lot of training, not much first pressure. So I think it'll be a really good year for him. Stepping in and trying to fill Baker Mayfield's shoes.
All right. And my number 4 is Wisconsin. I think because they should go undefeated again.
I mean,
if they can win the Big Ten championship, they're a playoff team.
Which I think they can,
and they
right?
can. They were close last year. They were very close last year.
Yeah, if they beat Penn State or Michigan State or whoever it is,
they
probably not
one of them,
State.
don't they?
Bro,
I think they have to play one.
I think so. Here,
I believe they have to play one of them.
Power of computers. We can actually look this stuff up. All right, let's see. Wisconsin.
I'm gonna find it first.
Yeah, you probably are.
With my book.
You have a book. That's
my book.
Okay. So yeah, Wisconsin's actually my number 5, and that gives us a nice transition into the corrupt.
They do have to play Michigan, yeah. But they can beat
Michigan, right? All they have is.
We'll see what Harbaugh does.
It will be interesting with Shea Patterson, but I honestly don't think that he's going to help them that much.
Patterson
he's not that great.
Good.
Like people are all like, "Is this the missing piece? Is Shea Patterson the quarterback?" He's not that good.
Did you watch any? Did you see the Ole Miss Alabama game last year?
It's not that good. I don't honestly get it. Yeah, so the corrupt poll's number 5. We're just going to call it the corrupt poll instead of coach's poll from now on. The corrupt poll's number 5 is Oklahoma. Yeah, so what are you going to say?
Oklahoma a lot lower than that. I have Ohio State number 5 because I still think that they're going to be great.
I still think they're going to have Urban Meyer. So.
Yes, and I do think they're still going to have Urban
But honestly...
And even without him, I think they're still stacked.
Honestly, it was very, very disappointing last year.
It's going to be demoralizing.
How they
lost to Iowa?
Yeah. I mean, how do you lose? Okay. 31 points, all right? If you lose to any team by 31 points, you shouldn't really be considered.
But Iowa, they were like 8-4, 7-5.
They were pretty bad.
Did they even make a bowl game? I forgot.
If you're
They probably did. I don't know. I don't watch Iowa.
If you lose to a team outside the top 10 by 31 points, you shouldn't be considered for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why they didn't make it in.
Yeah,
he was smart.
Yeah. Well, and they
and it was the right decision.
The committee knew
the
that Alabama would never lose a game by 31 points to anybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think Nick Saban's ever lost by more than. I remember he played Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl a couple of years ago, and they lost by 14. That was the most he's lost by in the last in his entire.
Dang. At Alabama.
Team. What?
At Alabama.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't at Alabama. It was in the Sugar Bowl. But yeah, I have Ohio State, and then number 6, I have Notre Dame.
Number 6. Okay. Why? So you think they're actually going to be pretty good? Because they have a very tough schedule. So you're hedging your bets on the fact that they're going to win those games.
I think they're going to win some of them.
All but one.
And this is start of the season too. I think they have the talent to be up here.
Yeah, okay. I can get that. Mm-hmm. So he's saying they have a great chance to make it, and I agree. The FPI says 14% chance for Notre Dame to make it in, it says 46 for Georgia, 46 for Alabama, and like 67 for Clemson, which is ridiculous. But anyway, now the correct polls number 6 is Washington, and I actually have the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 6, Washington.
But why?
I don't know. Well,
What else?
and then they also have again. I think that this is a huge.
They
huge deal.
need to win the Pac-12. Okay, they can't.
Yeah, they do, and the Pac-12 desperately needs a team in, and I think that this is a good chance for them with Washington.
Well, I mean, they had one.
They
against
had
Alabama
Washington before
a while ago, yeah.
and they got dominated by Alabama, and then they also had Michigan State.
That's Big Ten.
Oh crap! Wait, who else did they have?
Nobody.
The first
That was
just
wait, the
Washington.
first time.
No, they did make somebody the first year.
First year. It
Was
was
it Oregon?
Yes, it was Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon, Washington, back in the days of Mariota. But okay, so number 7 is a Pac-12 team for me. I have USC.
Number 6. What is your number
No,
6?
I already said my number 6 was Notre Dame.
Okay. Number 7.
I have USC.
They have Wisconsin. Corrupt poll. I have Clemson at number 7. You may be saying, "What?
That makes no sense.
Clemson number 7? What are you talking about?" But no, because for one thing, I don't think Kelly Bryant is actually as good as everybody thinks he is, and also I think that they will lose to Texas A&M. Probably, maybe. I think that there's a good chance, and then I also think that they have a good chance to lose to South Carolina. So then 2 losses, it would be hard for them to make it in, especially if Miami does pretty well. There'd be good competition in the ACC. I just don't think they're that great. Now, I'm not saying that has them with a lesser chance to make it in because the polls love Clemson. Even when they lose a game, they don't drop any rankings at all.
I think
which
Clemson's gonna win.
really triggered
That's
me.
not true. They dropped like
Last
to
year,
7.
the last game, they lost to Pitt. Remember, there were 3 out of the top 4 teams all lost, and they were at number 2, and they lost to Pitt. Wasn't it pretty bad?
No, it was last second.
Or was it field goal? Yeah.
Field goal, yeah.
And then they
By
didn't
Purdue.
drop a single spot.
Well, no, I think they dropped 1, but it was
No,
because
they were-
it was because everybody else lost. That was the week where like 8 of the top 10 teams lost.
Yeah. That was a weird week. That was cupcake week and so many upsets. All right. Now number 8 of the corrupt poll is Miami, and I agree with it here too. So I have 2 of the same as the actually I have 3 of the same as the
I
corrupt
have
poll.
Penn State because I still think they're good. They don't have Saquon
State.
Barkley anymore.
Yeah.
If they did, I'd put them maybe in my top 4, maybe at that
Yeah.
number 4 spot. But yeah, they're so good. I have them at number 8.
My number 9, they dropped here because Urban Meyer's probably gone. Ohio State, they're at number 9. Without him, they can't really do much. And if they lost him, I would put them even lower, but that's not guaranteed yet. So I'm putting him at number 9 because I still think that they're a pretty good team, have a chance. If he leaves, I think they can hit 9-3 tops.
Really? Only 9
Yeah.
and 3?
No, it's really hard with a new, especially since they had no time
yeah.
to prepare.
All right,
That's a sudden thing.
That Big Ten division is going to be interesting though.
It's gonna be weird.
It's going to be weird. We don't know Penn State. We think they're going to be good, but we don't really know. You know.
I think
Michigan.
Penn State's been so
Shea
close
Patterson.
every year.
Yeah,
I think
last
this
2
is
years.
just their final little push.
Yeah, this is their last chance.
Pretty
of this
much, yeah.
championship window. Yeah. Oklahoma, I have at number 9. Kyler Murray, he's unproven, but he's apparently really good. So
Yep.
let's start them down here. Humboldt, they made the playoff last year. Still got a lot of that talent on the team.
Number 10 for
They
the
got an
corrupt
easy schedule
poll.
in the Big 12. Oklahoma, I could see them contending for the playoff again easily.
Yeah. Number 10 for the corrupt poll is Auburn, and I don't think they're anywhere near that. To be honest, I think they're probably going to be 8-4, maybe lower. I think Auburn is a weird team. They have on a year, off a year, and
On and off in the same year.
I think this is going to be.
it is true. They go through these stretches
Yeah.
where they look like
I mean,
the best
last
team
year,
in
look at
the best
that.
team in the country versus
It was bad, and I think this is going to be their off year. Last year they had an on-off year, or off-on year. They almost made it to the playoffs, which I don't think they should have been considered.
You don't think beating Alabama and Georgia,
Well, I mean,
especially how
yeah,
they beat
but
Georgia, they should be.
how
Okay,
they
the
beat
job
Georgia
of the
is
committee is to
incredible.
put the best teams in the playoff. I think that.
Yeah, but
Auburn-
not the best
Auburn
teams at the
proved-
time of the playoffs, right? If Vanderbilt had 0 wins and then had Alabama, well, not Alabama the last game, right? If Auburn had 0 wins and then their last game against Alabama, they win 47-0, they shouldn't be considered just because they
That
were the
doesn't mean
best
they're
team in the
best
country
team, that
right
means they
then.
beat a game, but they won multiple games down the stretch,
I know, but
and they almost beat Clemson too.
they were only good at the end of the season. It should be a complete season. I
It
think
wasn't
work.
only good at the end of the season. They had 2 losses, and one of them was 1 possession to Clemson, who was the #1 team going into the playoff. That's not only good.
Yeah, but then they get blown out by Alabama. I don't care what the ranking is if they.
That's why they were being considered at the time.
Yeah. All right. And then we also have our
Number 10.
surprise team, which
we didn't go
the
over
corrupt.
number 10, did we?
Did we? No.
I don't.
Okay. My number 10. Well, corrupt poll number 10. Auburn again. Mine is Notre Dame
I have Washington.
because Washington. Interesting. Okay. So you think they'll beat Auburn? Maybe. No. You said no.
I don't think so.
Um.
But I think Washington starts out up here with Browning. They
All
more
right.
talent.
Now it is time
The wild card.
for our wild card, dark horse, surprise team, whatever you want to call it. What are you gonna say?
I have Stanford
I was
In-
considering it.
in one of the weakest divisions, maybe the weakest division in the Power 5 of the Pac-12 South. I think they own that
They play
division.
Washington, don't they?
What if they can get? Do they?
I think so.
If they can get through that schedule, if they can make it to the Pac-12 championship, and then win, they're in the playoff.
Yeah,
They have an
yeah.
easier road. It's right in front of them. They will have to beat Washington or USC.
Maybe Washington twice.
Well, no, they do have to play USC. That will be a tough game, but USC doesn't have Darnold.
Yeah, well,
So
Sam
that-
Darnold was probably less of a great thing last year than.
I mean, he was good.
he.
There's a
with all
reason he
those
was like
turnovers, though.
there's a reason he's a number 3 pick. Yeah, he had a lot of turnovers, but still a good
The
quarterback.
reason he was a number 3 pick was because he was great last year. Like, not last year, the year before
He
that.
was still good last year.
I mean, not really, no.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was good, but not worth the turnovers. Not worth it.
You don't think? I mean, he won the Pac-12 championship, so I think he was worth it.
I mean, that doesn't. Okay, again, it's not just him.
Yeah, it's not just him, but I mean, he led them there. He's the leader of the team.
You can't just. Okay.
And you're talking about Trace McSorley, put everything on him. What do you mean? You're contradicting yourself.
Penn State has great defense.
So does USC.
Yeah, well, you said he led them there, like it was just him.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't say. But no, I didn't say it was just him. I said he led them there. That does not mean it was just
Okay,
him.
my surprise team is South Carolina
Okay.
because game 2 against Georgia, small chance, but if they win that game, they're set up great, and then I think they don't even really have to win the SEC. They make it to the championship, lose a close game against Alabama. I mean, I think they have a good chance to make it
No,
in.
if they lose the championship, they're not going to be in. I don't think so. I think the only way
mean,
you
they're not
get
gonna
2
beat
teams from
Alabama.
one conference is what
if
happened
one doesn't
last
make
year.
it.
Yeah.
So if they
I think it's
lose
the
to
only
Georgia in a close game, but then Georgia loses 2 games in the SEC. So Auburn and
I think you could even have.
LSU.
Yeah, I think you could even have Georgia win the SEC championship game. And
Oh,
South
yeah,
Carolina-
Georgia and
Yeah, if you have the. South
Oh
Carolina
yeah,
contender.
that's a good point. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't
Or
think
you could
about
just
that.
win out and then win the SEC championship game. I mean,
All right, so I think that's gonna finish our video. We're gonna send out another one probably today, which is our ranking of SEC teams. So go check that out right after you finish this one.